to his father. Did you start? Oh, I don't think anybody.
I did.
Maybe they did.
I hope so.
Wasn't anything.
It was a good warm-up exercise.
Yeah. No, but welcome to another episode of Playing the Artist, a weekly show where me and my bud Alex talk about our progress, the things we're going through, the things we want to do with art as an independent artist. Or we have experience in actually sitting down in an office and getting told what to do for many years.
Mm-hmm. Plenty.
And, Alex.
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing great. Sleepy as usual, but that's a good thing. That means you're keeping busy, right? Getting shit done. So yeah.
Either that or you're just not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
That thing.
No, I think actually I haven't been really running a lot this week. This has been I think I exercised like once really this week. I did a couple squats, but really, I was only sore after because I haven't done them in like a month.
Yeah.
It wasn't like because it was a real workout or anything.
Yeah, before the show here, I did a bunch of push-ups and kettlebell squats. So.
Oh, good.
Just to get my blood going.
It's a good idea.
A couple things. Some that involves me and some that involves you. Pick one.
Let's pick something that involves you.
Me? Okay. So it sounds like you just don't want to talk because you're a sleepy pee-pee.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you brought up
I'll talk. I like talking about myself.
That's why there's a whole show about it, basically.
Oh, shut up. This podcast was your idea and you came to me. No, that's why you came to me, because I fucking blabber all the time.
That's right. It's because I can sit here and sip coffee while you blabber, and then boom, I'm on YouTube.
Boom, I'm on YouTube. But anyways, so I have this mailing list. We talked about it a few episodes ago and stuff, and I've been harping about you getting a mailing list.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just side note, did you get a mailing list?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, we'll get there sooner or later. It took you a while to get to do the Patreon, so I'm sure.
True. I act slow.
That's true, but there's in other cases you do things yourself as well.
I act slow, but I action fast. Once you decide to do something, then I just go boom. Okay, let's do it.
Anyways, mailing list. So a lot of people that have joined this mailing list are actually fans from my District 0012 Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, because they really like my sci-fi work.
Did they join just because of that, or was it? Did you convert those people with the like with your free model as well, or did they just join just because they like you?
The first 130, it was definitely from probably 135. The first 135, I think I'm at 150 now. Let me check. The first 140, just shy of one, I'd be 150. So the first 140 or 135 were probably from the Kickstarter campaign, because I didn't post where to sign up for my mailing list anywhere else except on my Kickstarter update page, right? So there's that, and I've got not many, but I've got, I would think, quite a bit for just for less than 200, subscribers for my mailing list. People telling me, oh, really love your work and can't wait to do more stuff, especially in District 0012 and stuff like that. So people are vocalizing that they love. I shouldn't say love, but sometimes they use love. But they
appreciate your work.
They appreciate and they enjoy my sci-fi work. So I want to do something, and I think, and I can't get it, and I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and I'd really like to try this. And this could be resistance. Well, let's be honest, it's resistance. That I want to do some sort of like a flash sale for like a District 0012 piece that's like almost like this one-off that's like not in the Kickstarter campaign. It's just like this new thing that's modular that fits in the world of my District 0012. And it'll be like kind of like a little bundle, like a little kind of like mini kind of building thing with different components, and then put that on the mailing list and be like, hey, for a limited time, this thing will be 50% off only on my mini factory. It'll be a flash sale for the week or whatever. Like this will be 50% off for the week. Get it before it becomes, regular price. And I think it'd be kind of exciting and also kind of like a little bit of a mini experiment, because like how nice would it be once like I really get like a really big mailing list where I can like be like, hey guys, I'm making this and it's coming out and it's going to be on the flash sale, right? And then like I'll make this thing like the flash sale, and the flash sale is like, a few days with the items 50% off. So like all my mailing list people, they get the heads up on the sale, right? Yeah. And like imagine having 2,000, hardcore mailing list people, and you put something up for like $7.99, and they all buy it. That'd be pretty nice. Pretty nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So, and also, I got what I wanted to get done, by the way, as well this week.
Okay, like a goal for the week.
Kind of thing? I wanted to get those stairs finished. These like the spiral stairs, which I did, and not just that. That I got the plugs in, and I got it like printer ready. So it's not just like saying like, yeah, the modeling's the ZBrush and modeling's done, but then there's also you got to make sure that the model is printer ready as well. But they're all printer ready. They got cleaned up. We got like I made sure to look through them and make sure there wasn't any artifacts inside the model or anything.
Yeah.
So those are all done, and I think it'd be kind of, I don't know, it'd be kind of neat to try this kind of like little mailing list thing I want to try to do, but also working on the Kickstarter. But I also was thinking like, maybe I'm being a little too hard on myself.
Why?
Well, because like before with the last Kickstarter, I was like, this is do or die. This is all I got, kind of thing, right? But now I have a little bit of an audience, right?
Okay.
And so now I'm kind of like, do I really have to like stress out myself to like only be working on this one Kickstarter the whole time? But maybe I can work on smaller little things, and it could still generate me income and new followers for potential new
you talk about like releasing something up to my mini factory every once in a while.
Yeah, well, just this one thing this year, which will be this district 12 thing. Why did I make the name so fucking
well, I don't know,
so many zeros.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, that's funny. You could do like, if you did like a small add-on to District 0012, that might be interesting.
Something like, that's at least $20 worth, or like $21 worth. I want something like that.
Almost like an expansion.
Yeah, like a little DLC almost.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could put this with, I can add this with all the rest of my stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I think that's totally fair. The only risk, I guess, is if it puts you off track. But you know what? It might give you time to like ruminate and think and just like devise a little bit more. When you're doing the dishes and you get all the good ideas about the other thing that you've got going on in your life, it could give you space.
I actually just do the dishes.
Dude, I think it's pretty. I don't know. I've heard it from a few people. Like for Harry Potter, the author, what's her name? J.K. whatever. She used to work a regular job and then just think about her book, right? Think about her world, and that's where she would get her inspiration was doing kind of like something else, Yeah. Because when you sit down and then you're like, okay, gotta write. Sometimes you can hit a wall and just be like, oh, because if you sit down, I think, and you have nothing in the chamber to get out, then you're going to waste time. But if you come and sit down and you've been thinking about exactly what you're about to do, like, yeah, that's right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to do it. And you're like, I wish I had the time to do it. And you finally get the time and you sit down and you just jump in and start doing it. That's when you're like super productive.
That's a little different because it's the dishes thing you were talking about, and you get these ideas or whatever. Like that's such a different task and requires a different type of focus and energy when you're doing like a task like cleaning or like labor work or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see this more as a kind of like Formula One racing or NASCAR racing. They have to go in the pit and change the tires, fill up the gas and stuff like that. So I think like this mini project is more kind of like that, where it's like a new pair of tires and a new fill up on something else, you know?
Okay.
But not something that's so big where it'll take all my time off of the Kickstarter, or will be like a completely giant big project, like something I put my teeth into and I'm familiar with. And also it helps out with the business too. But I do recognize it as resistance though too. I do recognize it as resistance because like I've been trucking away at this fucking shit and running into problems with 3D printing and just trying to get just trying to get this work done, because it just takes a lot of, I don't know, I just find it harder for me, I guess. But each model I finish, I feel like that much more confident for the next one. So that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah.
Well, I mean,
so that's what
how much time are you going to spend on this side gig?
That's the thing. I think what I need to do is I need to divide some time up where it's like through the week will be like, like maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is Kickstarter. And then like Thursday, Friday will be this mailing list sale thing I want to do. You know what I mean? Like divvy up some time where I'm, kind of hopping through, you know what I mean? And if I don't finish those 2 days, well, it's just like, well, then tomorrow's Saturday, Sunday, and then so I'll just work on the Kickstarter on Saturday, Sunday, or I work on this mailing list thing to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to put it down for a minute. Let's pop back to the Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Yeah. I could do it like that too. Edmund McMillan has said this before, the creator of Super Meat Boy. The designer, one of the designer of Super Meat Boy. Well, I guess I could.
He's probably like a one guy game, right? Like one designer basically does everything.
Oh yeah, it was just two people that made that game. It was him, the designer and the artist, and then Tommy. Oh, nice. Tommy's, I forget his last name. His name's Tommy, and he was the engineer programmer. And
so anyways, that's a 3-man team then?
No, it's 2. McMillan's one person.
Oh, he's the designer and the artist.
Yes, he's the designer. Oh, okay. 2 people. Anyways, Edmund McMillan, he said that he would look at his projects as like spinning plates, Mm-hmm. And if one falls down, that's okay, because there's so many other amazing things happening right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things are gonna break until you get like the perfect show kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but also he would say he would jump off between projects, and some would see the light of day, and some would take a backseat for a while, and some would pick back up again and stuff like that. And I think I would like to try that, because I think that would be one of the healthiest things for me. Because last week I got into one of my slums that I usually get into. Me, I like plopping into a little bit of self-loathing once in a while.
Yeah. I've heard about this.
Yes, and it's funny because like the only thing I need to do is like do some exercise and sit down and do some work. That's all I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's weird, because like I know those 2 things will help me feel better, but it's almost kind of like I don't know, it's like a messy desk, and you forget that you had like this important tool that you that you know that's really helpful, but it's just like covered with a bunch of shit on your desk and you forget about it. It's like a junk drawer, but the junk drawer has really useful things, and you should just organize it so that you can be happier, right?
Yeah,
and
you'd be surprised how far a clean desk goes, especially once you like, if you're somebody who does let it get messy sometimes, like myself. When you finally clean it, you're like, man, I just feel lighter and freer and happier.
Yeah,
and, you just want to be there.
Your environment is amalgamation. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It's essentially a external version of yourself. You know what I mean? You ever see a person with a messy car and you're like, yeah, I know what your house looks like.
Yeah, it's true.
I know what your house looks like. And it's true. You see like fucking like McDonald's in the back, like garbage and stuff like that, and a bunch of just shit just piled up, and then you go to their house and it's just a bunch of shit piled up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
So
funny. Well, I mean, you see some people and they're like, they have maybe I'm one of these kind of people. Nah, probably not. But like, there's some people who like appear really put together, and then you go to their place, you're like, whoa, it's a mess in here. And you're like totally surprised by it, because you have like this expectation just by somebody's presentation of what like their home might look like, right?
I suppose so. But anyways, I also think. But here's the thing, though, too. Sometimes I get frustrated with my work, right? Because I'm like I'm at like a point where it's like, I just have to like grind it out, and it sucks, and it just takes, time.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice if, I had a little other thing off to the side that I know that I can do, and that will kind of progress the whole picture of what I actually want to do, which is like one day, have enough income and like resources to like do bigger things that are physical releases, or my own work on my own like video game, which is insane, because the profit margins are so ridiculous.
Well, you think about, man, the work I'm doing right now. If I were to put the work I'm doing now into a video game, it would get you like not even 1% of like complete in a video game. It's like so crazy. And then you release the video game, and then like the video game with all that work in it is about as valuable as, it's like, who knows, like $10. It's like, so it's just diminishing returns. I guess like they can explode and stuff, and they're really engaging.
Viral.
Well, it's a hard game, man, and it takes a lot of skills.
But that's one of the things I want to try, and like the only way I could see it coming to fruition, like fruit, right? Fruition.
I think so.
Fruition is that I need to either get enough money where I can buy myself time to mess around with like Game Maker, right?
Yeah.
Or pay people. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, it's going to be both.
Dude, so many people have gone down this train of thought that you're going through right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have like
failed,
sold their home. Like the idea that I'll just pay somebody smart to come in and make my idea.
No.
Is never as easy as it sounds.
I'm not going to pay somebody that's smart to make my idea. I need someone with skills that I can hire and then guide through. Guide them to try to make a game.
I mean, word it however you want. I'm telling you, it's a trap, man.
It's crazy. You almost have to find like a friend that's like all in with you. You know what I mean? Like
it's like imagine you put it together, and you are a real skilled programmer, but then you only get it 95% of the vision, and you're that's like, no, it's not quite like that. It's more
that's
like
great,
this.
Man.
But it's gonna get expensive every time you have
I know that, but
question, a little this.
The older I get, the more I'm kind of like, 88% good enough. Like if I'm making a model, I'm like, I think this is good enough. You know what I mean? Like, because the thing is like, there's no time.
No, but but like and you're describing something you're really good at. This is your specialty, is like making models, and you're saying that I settle for 88%.
I'm not even that.
I'm lucky if I get 88%. And now you're going to hire somebody in to come and make something that you're explaining to them, and all you can expect is their 88%. And so you're getting like an echo of an echo. I mean, I'm not saying it. I don't know what I'm saying, because people do it all the time. They hire staff and people come in.
Yeah.
But
I would have, this is the thing. I would need to, the reason why I said that it would be the latter, I would have to do both. I would need to buy time to learn Game Maker or Unreal or whatever. And then also hire somebody, is because I would need to be efficient. I would need to understand the program that the game is being built on enough to the point where I'm like, okay, I can do this, but it's gonna take a really long fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, I have the skills, but like I just don't have the experience, and I'm just slow. You know what I mean?
Well, here,
if I have the skill, if I have some bit of a skill, I can kind of like navigate a little bit and understand if they run into a problem, or if they're like, hey, this thing or whatever, or I can explain something more clearly, right? In the schematics of the engine to the engineer. You know what I mean? I can't just say like, yeah, just make this thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, it's like, maybe you gotta like know a little bit more of the lingo when it comes to the program you're using. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I would just like challenge anybody to prototype as much as they possibly can before like asking anyone to, it doesn't even matter if it's games or not. Like, really,
no, I'm totally with you. Like, before I hire anybody or pay money to somebody, and that's gonna be a lot of money. It's gonna be a full-time salary for, you know what I mean? So it would be like literally like, I'd be lucky if I could get somebody for a year's salary for 60. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like
that's that's a junior level engineer.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah. You're getting people who probably, like, let's say you're somebody who, I don't care what I program, I just want to program something for somebody else. So now you're competing with people who are applying at the big companies. So you're getting the people who didn't get those jobs.
Yeah.
Come work on your thing. And you're getting their 88% off the echo chamber kind of degradation of telephone explanation of what you want. But
you're making it sound super scary.
Here's like what I think. Like, I have some friends who do indie game development, right?
And they're successful.
And not all of them are like program everything themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not even all successful. But like one approach, I mean, it was a guy I met just because I liked his work, and I just started like messaging him and saying, "Hey, I hope your project does well." It was the Feyland guy, and he prototyped everything. Like, he basically made a demo in Construct, which is a super lightweight, really easy.
Oh, Construct. Yeah. I know what that is.
And it's like, you don't really need to know to program too much. You can build a lot just being an artist. And he built it out, and he said, "This is what I want my game to feel and play like," and blah, 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 blah. And then after his Kickstarter got funded for the game, that's when he folded in another programmer to help him out.
Yeah.
Because it's like really, there's like visual, and he doesn't have to explain too much to anybody. You have to explain, hey, take this and build that with it, but you don't have to say build all of this that I have in my head. So I think it was like a really smart approach. And if I were to, sometimes I think about it too, just like you do, it'd be really cool to make your own game and stuff. But I think you could do a lot of damage with tools like even like Game Maker, Construct, and like get obsessed with that, because I guarantee that like the more you do with that, like if you have a game, you're going to want to have the power to go in and like just be like, and then like go in and just like tweak to your liking, right?
Yeah. Or at least point at somebody to do it.
Well, sure, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's challenging.
Yeah. No, this is a very good point you brought up, and has to be exacerbated. That's actually a really
When's the last
good...
time you asked somebody to do something and they just did it exactly like you wanted to do it? It never happens.
No, it doesn't happen with me. So,
yeah, you can't even get me to make a mailing list.
Yeah,
I guess you're not paying me or anything.
No, that's a good point. But what was I going to say? No, you make a very, very good point, and that not business model. Well, I guess it is a business model. That proof of reference, right? Like to the T, it sounds like that he did this thing in Construct to make sure
like
that
when I play his
Jesus Christ is talking.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying. All right, just illustrating your point, and that's how I feel on the inside every show when you interrupt me. But go ahead.
Now you made me feel bad. You go down.
Dude, I deflected it.
You did. I can't even remember what I was going to say now.
I don't know. I was just going to say though that when I played his demo and then I played like the version he built later on with the, with the help, it felt like the game felt the same. It didn't feel like, all of a sudden somebody else built it, But I think, anything you want to have a proof of concept. You want to build as much as you can with that vision.
Yeah.
Especially because you're like, you're your own business, you're your own kind of becoming your own brand, your own, you're like your own voice now. And that's where you're making that's what you're going to be judged on is your own voice. So you might as well be yours.
Have you noticed that you like take really big breaths in between like long sentences?
I think I breathe while I speak. Yeah.
Yeah. You go like that.
Oh yeah. I sometimes hear that on videos.
Yeah. Also when we're just hanging out.
Well,
just saying. So there you go again.
I did it again. Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up, but I totally agree with you that going forward, if I want to do games, I'm gonna have to do exactly what you just described to me, where I would have to make a prototype, or at least a visual prototype, or like a video prototype of exactly what I want to see happening on the screen. And also that's really good because then people, and like you said with that Kickstarter, then you show that to people, and then people are like, oh wow, look at this idea. Like I understand what's going on. And I actually kind of learned something that I thought was really interesting. I was listening to the On Tabletop show on YouTube, and they were talking just about, they do this thing called the Indie of the Week, right? So every week they talk about a new indie person in tabletop and that they're, what they're doing, right? And one person said something that was very interesting, where he's like, oh, I really love these illustrations and these colors because it kind of pushes the story of the miniatures and the story of the world where the miniatures live in more. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's such a really good point, because there's such a element in tabletop games, or just like in any kind of thing you're trying to sell. There's such like a big storytelling element to it. You know what I mean? With like illustrations and backgrounds and like, scenery shots and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Even music as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all those things, or like the font, right? All these things like work together to try to like make this coherent thing that feels really solid, and where you could be like, I want to look in a little bit more into this thing and see what else there is. And then you start seeing like stories or whatever. And you do a little bit of that as well, right? With that like illustration, and then with the little monster not monster manual, but like the card. Yeah. Like the storytelling.
There's a little write-up in there.
Yeah. Goddamn thing. The story, and there's story behind the cards too and stuff like that. And I think that just like lifts everything up. And I think that's the same thing when you're, when you look at a Kickstarter, like a big Kickstarter, especially for like the games, industry. Like they usually have like a really cool illustration or like a cool video, or sometimes it'll be like an animation that's completely differently stylized and stuff like that towards the game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
What's it called again? League of Legends does that all the time, where they like do these like promos essentially, right? And they might be animated completely differently compared to the game. Like it doesn't even look like the same. Like they're not even remotely close. You know what I mean? But it kind of puts a story, and it kind of pushes the narrative of this this world or this product that they're trying to put in people's hands and get excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we need to start writing stories more.
Yeah, writing is tricky. I try to do it. I mean, I'm obviously doing it, but I try to do it like almost as minimally as I can, just because it's like, I know if I try to do more than I'm comfortable with, it's going to expose my lack of experience in that area. You okay?
There was like, you ever hear like a squeaky?
I hear something. It sounds like a bird is maybe.
No, it's too similar at each point, so it sounds like a squeaky wheel just moving along. I don't fucking know. This fucking neighborhood's fucked.
Yeah, dude. I've been thinking about starting a Kickstarter page just to have something to like kind of work on, because I want to do. Sam and I have been talking about like what a Kickstarter might look like, and I think
you already know what it looks like. There's so many examples out there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know what a Kickstarter looks like. I guess I've backed a few of them.
Yeah,
but a Tiger Skull one, I think like a good entry level one is the cards, like finding a way to offer some cards, even though it is like it would be a physical thing.
I don't think you should do a physical for your first one.
I just like think that what's good about the cards is that it's something that, like, you know how Pete always says you should be done whatever you're doing before you put it up on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I could offer as something that I've already basically done. All I would be doing is basically pre-ordering the physical prints of the cards, like the actual.
You're gonna do that before you even make a Kickstarter, before you even do a mailing list or a Kickstarter page?
No, I don't think so. I think I would. Yeah, I want to do the mailing list kind of in tandem with all that.
Okay.
Like this month, you know.
You mean this week?
Yeah, Sam's on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn it, I need a Sam in my life. Anyways.
It helps a lot. She's really into it too. I say it every week. You do.
I think you should do a digital one first. It doesn't have to be huge. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem I have with that, and I totally agree with you. I see where you're going. Like, it's a lot easier to fulfill, but I don't have digital content on the ready because of, just like with work and then Patreon on the side, there's no time to like sink into building like some other kind of collection of models that I could offer.
This is why you got to quit your job.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I remember at the beginning of the show, I was talking about one was about you, one was about me. And I wanted to talk about your golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily talk about it, just like bring it up and kind of, I don't know, talk about this scenario, because I've never been through it, and maybe some people have been through it. And if nobody knows, Alex works full time at EA, and he gets paid very nicely. Nicely enough where well, I guess I could throw it.
Well, can we not just like go into all my details?
Sorry.
But I mean, yeah.
I'm not throwing out numbers.
I have I've got like a full-time job that like, yeah, I've got monthly expenses that I budget with, that that I plan for the future with, like owning a home, starting a family, and all that stuff. And the difference between you and I is, I think I'm looking at starting a family, I think pretty soon, like not in the far future, like something I think about every day. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it is hard for me to take that leap of faith when I know I could just keep working. I could just keep working in games and comfortably raise a family at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, making your own work is super gratifying, but it's not at the point where it's, like, it's not like going to just achieve those goals for me without like it's going to just take me, like, I do have confidence that if I did went full time at some point, the business would become something similar to what I, have right now. And
it'll take time.
Hopefully similarly as stable too, and not just, anyway, because there's more to it than just making money, but there's also like kind of this security kind of feeling.
Yeah,
and
you also get like Medicare, right? You get like,
yeah, you get a lot of little things like that.
Dentists, and you can go to like chiropractor or like physio or all that stuff like that too. And
yeah.
Well, if you want to start a family and stuff like that, it sounds like could be that you might have to take some time off and be a stay-at-home papa.
See, that's the ideal scenario, right? The best case scenario would be I am working from home and I can be home, with my kids and have a flexible schedule to do.
Yeah, for like 3 years. Like once the kid's like 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, or just like 1.5 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the best, right?
Yeah.
Be like, yeah. I don't know. I would really enjoy that, I think. So
it'd be tough, but you could do it.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm trying to think about. It's like you could just say, "Oh, just build that life now, and then, maybe you'll be ready by the time you want to have kids and stuff." I don't know. It's just a whole lot to think about, and it's hard. Like we said in the beginning, I'm slow to act on things, and so yeah.
No shit.
But it's I think there's value in really thinking about things for a while before.
Oh yeah, you're totally right.
Big life decisions, and
I just want to not be alone. You know what I mean? Because
you're not alone. You're not alone.
Well, sorry. Let me rephrase this. No, I'm not alone, but in many ways I am. Where it's like, it feels like I'm on like a little island, and I'm like. And I'm like kind of like cutting down the trees and like trying to make up like a house or something. Like I'm trying to make a little world for myself, and I'm trying to survive. And I see you on a big fucking island with a bunch of people and like electricity. And like, oh my god, it's so fucking
I'm
nice
like building a boat to go and visit your island, maybe, or something.
No, you're building a fucking boat out of pop bottles.
Yeah,
of 2 liters. And you're going to the island beside me. You know what I mean? You're
just like, just wait. These pop bottles are going to take me there. You'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you make a really good point, and you never talked about this with me really. And yeah, I would say I'll probably 50% less bother you about the golden handcuffs, and you should jump ship and whatnot.
Well, I mean, we talked about everything. So, I mean,
yeah,
that's a motivation that's on my mind. I mean, we kind of talk about it when we hang out a little bit. Not really. We mostly talk about stupid shit. But
yeah. No, but you should, Pete Moorbacher from the recently deceased podcast, One Fantastic Week. He said this, where it's like, you gotta have your little goose egg, a little bit of breathing room where you can like, okay, now I can. And I had that because like I asked my folks for $15,000 from my inheritance early, and they're like, yeah, we'll give it to you. I was like, okay, cool, and like that, and I haven't used it yet, and that was my that was like, it was just nice to
good.
have.
That's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. It was just there just in case to like, if this thing doesn't work out, I can still buy my time for like to like try to do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Without having to go into like credit card debt or something crazy. Like
yeah, or having to get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having to get
You
a job
betcha.
or whatever. So
I hope it works out.
It has to work out. There's no other opportunity. There's no other choice. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just yesterday invested into a grow op in Saskatchewan for a CBD plant. Like a plantation, like an actual like building that.
Oh, not like one single plant.
No. Like a place where that like makes CBD in Saskatchewan, because I have a relative, non-blood relative, that's opening one up, and they need investments. And so my mother was like, "Hey, you wanna get in on this?" And so I kind of felt I was a little bit bullied into doing it. But
oh, really?
But their family and what they're doing can actually really change the environment of Saskatchewan, I think, in a positive way, because of jobs, and not just run of the mill like fucking, digging ditches jobs, like jobs that acquire like a wide spectrum, right? Because if they run this plant, they need people that are like laborers, and they need people that are managers for those laborers, and then they need security, and then they need like certain engineers, and like people that are actually like, that are like smarter, like actually have certain skills that are like higher paying, right? And so there's kind of like this, like, there's like all these opportunities to get like a lot of work done, and people would like be like, "Hey, maybe I'll stay in my little town and work at the plant here," or whatever, and just have a family or whatever, or raise or whatever. And then somebody might be like, "Oh, I'm gonna open up like a new restaurant or a new whatever or whatever." You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I come from a small town, and my small town that I grew up in is slowly dying. Like it's like every year it's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, all the small towns in like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba are kind of taking a hit. They're going the way of like, it's sort of like China. Everybody's kind of moving to the cities, and it's getting harder to live in those small towns. But big old gulp.
Yeah, but this plantation is going to be right outside of a small town, like actually quite nearby to my small town.
So it's good small town jobs, I guess.
Well, no, it helps out all these neighboring small communities. You know what I mean? So Fabrice talking?
Oh, no. Actually, my Discord was talking. Cool. Sorry. Just got notifications.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, anyways, I gave $5,000, invested $5,000 in that. So I'm happy to give it. And if I don't make anything, that's fine. But if I make something, like, hooray for me. But I'm not banking on making a profit. I just want them to do well, and I just want them to do well, and I just want.
Yeah.
I just believe in them, and that that they can do good, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's more of like I think CBD, like weed, was the trend for a while. Just like investing in marijuana, it's going to get legalized, and then it's going to explode because everybody's pothead. But that kind of train got derailed, I think.
Well, the reason why it kind of got a little derailed is because there was all these legislation, right? All these rules that got put into place where, like, before in British Columbia, if nobody knows, we live here in British Columbia, Vancouver. It was like for a good chunk of time, it was just a fucking Wild West. Like when it wasn't legal, like there was just like hemp shops. Well, not hemp shops, but I guess you can call them hemp shops. Anyways, dispensaries where you can buy marijuana, they were just like popping up everywhere. And some were just like literally like a hole in the wall, like just like a grungy place. And some were like high-end, fancy, place that looked like an Apple store. And the cops didn't shut it down, and they just like, they were just like, oh, whatever, it's like no harm, no foul. And it was crazy, and people were just making money. And people like, product was just like fucking flying out of the goddamn door. There was when I used to smoke weed, there was days I'd walk in and they were like, yeah, we're running low. We're all out of pretty much everything. You're like, what the fuck? Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, cause like,
yeah,
like that month they were like, cause there's, just so many people fucking buying weed. It's insane. But like I said, legislation that's changed, so now it's kind of like, well, now you gotta follow these requirements. You gotta have this proper setup, and you gotta sell within these containers. It's a sealed container kind of thing. Before it was just like a jar of joints, and the person would just stick his claw in there and like shuffle around, like, there's a joint, there you go. Like this, like it would just be like things like this full of joints. And it'd be like, well, how many joints you want? And they just like give you fucking joints. But now it's like in a container, and it's like has a seal, and you gotta like remove the seal and stuff. And the stores are like all covered up, so you can't even see inside. And it's like very very simple.
Yeah, I guess that's
you can't sell anything else. Like there's nothing else you can sell. So it's different. Yeah. But just nearby my place here, a dispensary opened up, and all day I always see people coming in and out of that place. All walks of life. Richest man to the poorest man, walking in and out of that place.
Yeah, it's like a liquor store, right? Same thing. People come in buying whiskey, and then other folks buying their, I don't know, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, the Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
No, but that's how did we get on the topic of
you're investing in
CBD. A CBD company in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Cool. So I don't need to ask you how much, but
I already told you 5,000.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope it works out.
It's
probably going to be a slow gain on that one.
Oh yeah, the plantation's not.
It's like a startup kind of thing. So
it is a thing.
Yeah.
It's like something like they were offering this initial investment until it was like a private initial investment before it was opened up to the public to invest. And so so to make it like to sweeten the pot, like I got a bigger interest rate. Sorry, not an interest rate, but a bigger, a higher percentage of the amount of money I put in. So you
have higher percentage of ownership?
Not ownership, but I guess like investment, where like my it's something like what was it? Like I said, I got bullied into this by my mother.
Okay.
But she was just like, yeah, just do it. I'm just like, okay, fine then, I'll do it. It's family, and I hope they do well. Anyways, I was reading the PDF, and essentially it was like I get like if I would have put 10,000 in, they were giving their things like if I would have put 10,000 in, I would get my investment would be what I would get would be like 100,000. So it's like
shares.
Yeah, not shares. I don't know. It was just essentially saying like I would get more if I invested early, essentially. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So me giving this $5,000, I would get a higher return more.
Yeah,
so
you're getting the early bird. You're getting the early bird.
Getting the early bird rate. Yeah. So
in terms that we as nerds speak, we're used to Kickstarters.
So that'll be nice if that works out. But like I said, I did it because they're family, and I hope that it makes the community better.
That's good. Yeah. Wow. We almost went for an hour. Before we end, I want to just like kind of mention as kind of like a, I don't know, just like a landmark of time. I totally redid my tiers starting this morning.
Yeah. You gave me a text. Sorry, I missed it, by the way. I was busy working.
Oh, yeah. I was asking you about my merchant tier because Sam and I were going back and forth about how much it should be and stuff. But I've settled on $18.
That's bullshit.
Used to be 15 and now it's 18.
It should be more.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. That's what Sam says too.
Yeah, it should be more.
But, you know, it's like, sure, I think it should be. I mean, I think everything,
No, the merchant tier should be more because somebody's making profit off of you. But I know right now you don't have the biggest library.
No.
A place where they lie down berries.
Yeah.
You don't have the biggest
either.
You don't have the biggest, catalog of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess 19 or 18 or whatever the fuck you just said. But I would say low end is like $29.99 and high end is like $40.
That's what like the big ones are charging, like Artisans Guild.
Yeah, they are.
Actually, I don't think you can even. They might not even offer merchant tiers anymore.
They do.
Do they? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them have like put a cap, and they're like, "Okay, you're done. No more."
Yeah, cap. That's a cap. But they still have the tier.
Cap is.
But they still
Well,
have
the tiers are there, but yeah, they're not accepting anyone new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you have?
Yeah, I do, but yeah, I don't reach it. There's always room.
There's always room.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, but this is the thing. Like, how many spots do you have open? 30.
I got 20 open now.
So you have 20 open, and
but I have 12. So
okay.
Yeah.
This is what you should do.
All right. Let's hear it.
That one will be the early bird one.
Essentially, what I've done is close the early bird one. Basically.
This one though. This one's going to be the early bird, and once that one's full, make a new one.
You can always raise it again. Make a new one.
Make a new one, and then this one's like, it's like regular, and then you just change the name where it's like this is like first come first serve. Like my special, like these are my homies. They were like, we believe in this person, and we're gonna invest in this person early. Like I was just talking about the early investment thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But when I would put that number down a little bit more. Put it maybe to 15 instead of 20. Mm-hmm. Put it to 15, and then have another one where it's $30, and you have 20 spots.
Yeah.
So in total, you have 35 merchant tiers, or you could put more. You can make it 30 or 25 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's too late. I had to do it this morning because I was refreshing all my tiers. So
but you can add that tier later.
Yeah. Definitely. I think you got to scale up with where you are.
With your audience, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Artisans Guild has done.
Yeah.
Slowly over time, they scale up. So it's totally fair. But yeah, and then the other big new tier is I'm releasing the Photoshop file for my cards so people can create their own cards and already
like template.
So, what's that? Yeah, the template. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to see what people make, whether they use like the art that's in there or their own art. I don't know. I think it's going to be really cool. And like, I started to see other Patreons talk about adding cards to theirs.
Oh, look at you.
So I was like, I better release this template so that people get like a little bit more attached to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I've been just, thinking about it for a long time and like I do and not doing anything about it.
Sounds like to me you might be an early adopter.
Yeah, right. I hope so. Well, I don't know if I hope so or not. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But it's not always good to be the early adopter, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Well, actually, you know what, dude? In the 3D printing world, in the gaming world, I think it pays dividends. I really do.
I don't know. So the Frozen. Are you familiar with the Frozen Sonic Mini, the printer? It's a SLA.
No, that's a printer. That's completely different. I'm
'cause
talking games.
Yeah, because they like I find what they push the technology of like those sort of commercially or not commercially, but like consumer friendly printers, right? That are really dope. But then Elegoo and Anycubic, they kind of see what they did and they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that on our printers.
Make it cheaper.
And they don't even necessarily make it cheaper, but I think because of their audience and their like the confidence in their work, and they're a little bit more like, I think they're bigger companies, you know what I mean? Like they're a little bit more like safe kind of feeling. Whereas Frozen is like kind of feels like the little brother almost. So there's but Frozen usually pushes the technology, right? Like they were the first ones to do that, to do mono LCD printing, which is just way sharper and faster. You know, it's like faster and better than the other ones. And then they all were like, oh yeah, our new ones do this now too. And then now their next gen printer is like has the most resolution on screen. So potentially, if you want just the most crisp print, you're gonna want to use Frozen.
But dude. Yeah. Seth Godin, remember that one video he talks about of the
of course
of the guy on the bike and they're going down a hill, like these guys are cycling, right? And so instead of fighting this pedaling down this hill, he planks on his bike like a plank on his bike, like, and has his crotch on his seat and just like zooms by that because he doesn't have any drag on his legs, so he's just like this bullet that just speeds by everybody. And he goes so fast, he speeds by the guy on a moped in front. That's like to make sure like there's no like hazards at the front. And he thought it was funny. And then the guy on the moped does it too. He like kicks his legs back. You know what I mean? And he shows that video to give the example where it's like, yes, you're going to have this new thing that's different and exciting, but guess what? Everybody else is going to fucking do it. So you got to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah. So when you do something that's really successful and that's different and you're like the first one to do it, it's like, you can't just stop there. You got to be like, okay, well, what's the next thing I got to do here? What's the next thing I got to push for?
I feel like Nintendo is really good at that. You know, when Nintendo comes out with motion controls, everybody's like, oh, motion controls, we got to do it now. And then Sony's
everybody's like, we got motion controls too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, you don't. Your shit sucks.
So that's where that's like, and it's super safe feeling like Nintendo feels like, I don't think they're going to go anywhere.
No, because they have billions of dollars.
Very established. But they're also really like, they're innovative in some ways, but not innovative in other ways. Like their graphics and stuff are always really safe, but then their hardware is really like progressive and kind of, risky, I would say. Right. Well,
they're also a hardware company. You know what I mean? They're not just a software company.
Yeah,
they're both. So they kind of have to be. Like progressive in hardware, because you kind of
it's their bread and butter. Yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do when you want to be the top seller of hardware. It has to be the newest thing.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The new thing that makes your life more enjoyable.
That's right. Yeah. If you're like the company that makes race cars, you want to be able to have the first car that can, hit 300 miles an hour, whatever that number is.
Yeah.
You want to be just a sort of fast one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should start wrapping it up here.
For sure.
So let's do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we talked about the golden handcuffs and stuff like that, because now
some real life speak. Now you can. No,
I'm a little bit more for you to try to do this Kickstarter. That's a physical release now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because like you were saying, like, well, I don't have the time. I'm doing this and doing this. And
I see what you're saying.
It's like,
you're like,
okay,
or you're like, you do have the time. You just made the time.
No, I wasn't really thinking about like that. I was just kind of I was thinking about like, oh, you should just like leave your job and like spend all your time working on a Kickstarter for digital release. But then you're like, well, it's not that easy. Like I'm getting paid well, and I'm trying to like map out my life because I want to raise a family and stuff. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. Yeah. And also it'll be exciting to do a physical release because then I can ask questions about it and bother you and be like,
Yeah, and the last thing that I like about a physical release is you sort of like you get all the Kickstarter, you get the funds and whatever, and it's successful, and then you don't have to worry about all the real work comes after. It's like
make sure you rewatch that. I just want to say this real quick. Make sure you rewatch One Fantastic Week with that young lady that does the Kickstarter of the tarot cards.
Yeah.
Because she talks about scenarios where she's like, "Oh, I should have thought about this, and I should have about this, blah 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 blah."
Oh, yeah,
like you're gonna have to look in. You're gonna have to look in backer fulfillment websites.
Yeah.
Right, to fulfill the backer information out.
Yeah.
Like there's one out there. There's Backer Key, but I think you should use what's it called again? Backernome, I think it's called Backernome. Yeah. Backernome, and they like help with all like the numbers and the fulfillments and all that stuff. So you gotta, because like Kickstarter doesn't help with any of that, by the way. So like it's a shit show.
I'll probably bug you at some point and just see what.
No, I don't. I did digital release. You know what I mean? Like
I know, yeah.
It's such a different thing.
Yeah, I just want to kind of check out what the data looks like once you're because you got funded and then it's over, and then like what Kickstarter gives you that you then hand off to like a fulfillment. Like what is all that? Is it just
it's just the emails?
Yeah,
like the emails and like what they tier to and stuff like that and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but you see, I can't explain it well because I haven't gone through it. I know a little bit of it, but I didn't go through it. So you need to fucking figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
Don't go device for me because I did a completely different thing. Right. I distributed my bottles through my mini factory. Very different than distributing physical release things and then having a company help you with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Don't ask me.
No, I'm going to ask you anyway.
I'll just say watch One Fantastic Week videos. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for joining the show. If you want to help out the show, you can follow. You can subscribe to the show on YouTube. And we're a weekly show on every Tuesday, 8:00 Pacific time. That's where we usually do it. And if you want to tell us something, maybe talk about, or just tell us we're awesome, just leave a comment or leave a like. That's great too. If you want to follow one of us, where can we find Alex? Alex, where can we find you?
Tiger Skull RPG everywhere.
All right.
Latest is on all the latest like news and releases. Instagram/Tiger Skull RPG. How about yourself?
Forbidden Prince on Instagram and on the Tweeties, and also have a My Mini Factory and all that fun stuff. Or join my mailing list, which will yeah you can find it. It's in my latest products that are for free downloads. You can find.
You still get a free model for joining the mailing list?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the show. It was a pretty good show, and my landlord's coming over to check the fire alarms. So that's going to happen soon.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't go off the show.
Oh no, it's going to be like 11 something. So
cool.
Yeah. Anyways, see you around, dude.
Peace out, homie. Later.
We might have bad movie night, so keep that in mind.
Okay, will do.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.